What's up? Hello, hello, everybody. How goes? I hope you're doing well. Wouldn't be, 1,000 subscriber party without me being late for my own party. But I'm here. It does feel kind of weird celebrating it, honestly. But, you know, I figure you gotta celebrate even the small victories. Not that 1,000 subscribers is a small victory, but hey, y'all. Happy Wednesday, everybody. Hey, Nikisha, thank you. Hey, Allison. Hey, Angel. They are recasting Lulu. Yeah, I was gonna post about it yesterday, and then I got busy. I was gonna make. I even had like the post ready in my mind. I was like, if you know, you know about the recast, and then just a smiley emoji. So, yeah, I'm glad it's not gonna be Emmy Rylan. And that is all I will say on that front. Minus, I'm also really upset it's likely not going to be Julie Berman either. I just hope that the recast, whoever they are, it can bring the same fire that Julie Berman brought to Lulu. Because she really managed to capture both Luke and Laura in her portrayal, and I hope that the next person that plays her can do the same. And thank you, Nathan. Thanks, Sandy. And hey, happy Wednesday, Kaiwan. But yeah, I thought we'd hang out. Angel, you said a lot of people are sad Emmy isn't coming back. I know you are happy. Yeah, I'm happy. I don't know, like, if those people just never seen Julie or if they really preferred Emmy over to Julie. I did not see Luke and Laura in Emmy's portrayal, and I know a lot of it is comes down to the writing, but they really wrote Emmy's Lulu to be like an airheaded, like, I don't know, an airheaded housewife essentially, and that wasn't Lulu, and it truly felt like these writers. Well, I mean, she's been under a few writers, obviously. But it felt like none of them knew what to do when Emmy stepped into the role of Lulu. None of them knew what to do with her. And honestly, I don't know if that would have stayed the same had they kept Julie. It's hard to say, truthfully. But I could not enjoy Emmy, and it's unfortunate because, the Spencers. I'm a big fan of the Spencer family, and a lot of it had to do with because the Mark Teschner who cast GH really got a bunch of gold riches with all the people that they put into that family between Tony Geary and Jeannie Francis and Julie Berman and Jonathan Jackson and Tyler Christopher. They had, they lucked out. They truly did. And the way I see it, we've had 3 Luckies, we've had 4 Nicholases, and what's to say that we can't have 3 Lulus as well? And I feel like, and obviously the opinions will vary on this, but we had Jonathan Jackson and Greg Vaughn. I liked both of them. I did not like Jacob Young. We had Tyler, Marcus, and Adam, and Steven for Nicholas. I think the other guy's name was Steven. Obviously, Tyler was top tier. I actually really enjoyed Adam Huss, too. I know Marcus had his fans. I was just kind of meh about his portrayal of the character. But I think a lot of that fell to the writing of the character. They really just... truly... Nicholas was a victim of the writing, and it just was horrible for him. And I think that they could have written Marcus's portrayal of Nicholas to be a bit more, just a better person. um, and maybe he could have portrayed that, but we'll probably never know. I don't know. Obviously, I think they also announced recently that Adam would not be returning to the role of Nicholas too, and that the role would be recasted. So it feels like with that news mixed with the news of Lulu being recasted, that they're going to try to build the Spencer family back again, and of course Lucky coming back too. So I'm hopeful for a Spencer resurgence, and if that means a couple of recasts, then sure. I know Nicholas wasn't a Spencer, but he was just in the Spencer clan. You know what I mean? His siblings were Spencers. We know Emma Samms is coming back, so it makes me wonder if Ethan's going to be tied in as well. Like we haven't heard anything about that on that front yet, but I am really excited to see where they go with the Spencer family. I just hope the writing is good and lives up to the hype that bringing people like, you know, Jonathan and Emma and Rick back to the canvas. You know, there's a lot to be expected for the show. Oh, you had happy belated birthday, Sandy, and Kevin the character as well. Well, I hope you had a better birthday than he did. Poor guy, he got like a little tiny cake in his office with Laura, and then he had to deal with Sunny. Also, how did y'all feel about Morgan's appearance yesterday? We all knew it was coming. It was only a matter of time. I thought it was great to see Brian Craig back on. Did a good job. Him and Maury still have the same chemistry. I feel, I don't know. I thought I'd be a bit more emotional about it. Because, like, those scenes are pretty dark. You know, for Sunny to be standing on a roof. Yeah, we have another writer change. Yeah, Chris Van Etten is back as co-head writer with Elizabeth Corte. Yeah, I mean, I feel like we knew this for a while. Allie Mills let it spill during the Emmys that Chris was back as head writer with Elizabeth. Hopefully no spaghetti ramen hair, Ethan. We'll see. I mean, I don't see Nathan Parsons coming back, but maybe we'll have another recast. Hard to say. I mean, obviously we know that Emma Samms isn't going to be back full time. So if Ethan comes back at all, he might not be full time either. You hated Morgan when he was on the show. But Morgan is the same thing that they were doing with Spencer. They were doing Morgan not making any plans. Yeah, I mean, but like that was kind of like the role. They like Morgan, for whatever reason, they made the hot mess and the black sheep of the family alongside Christina. And I hate that we didn't really get to explore much of their brother-sister relationship. Because we've seen Christina so little back then. When, like, really they should have been bonding. And also, just on that note, I know they really brought Morgan back as, like, a hallucination. But I was hoping when Christina had started to crash on the episode beforehand that we were going to get, like, Morgan's ghost sharing scenes with Christina as well. And I'm sad that it didn't. So that was a bit of a letdown, but I don't know. I wasn't wowed with the comeback. Again, Maurice and Brian have great chemistry, but I was just meh about it. Yeah, I heard about that too, Sandy, about Rebecca Budig. She's on Bold and Beautiful now as a recast of a different character. Ah, man. We lost her, guys. I mean, I didn't see her coming back to the show anyway. Especially with Finn gone, like, there's not much of a point. I mean, I guess for Violet that would have been nice, but it is what it is. But yeah, I won't say too much about GH storyline wise beyond that, because of course we're going to talk about it this weekend. For now, I figured the best way to celebrate 1,000 subscribers is to look back at some of the videos, just like 3 videos, because I feel weird watching me a little bit. But I thought it'd be fun to show my first video that I ever posted. It had nothing to do with GH. It just had to do with me starting the channel. And then the second video is the very first General Hospital MV after show that I did, when it was like video format and not live stream format. And then like I forgot that I did this, but there was a 500 subscribers video that I did when I hit 500 subscribers, which was almost 5 years ago. So that's like 100 every year, which is not terrible, but some people skyrocket, and I kind of coasted. But I was doing a lot less videos. I was just kind of live streaming this GHMV, and then I kind of stopped doing the rest of the shows that I was doing on back then. So, because it's hard, y'all. This video business, I don't know how. Like I said it before, like the soap opera YouTubers that I know, they are out there doing every single soap opera, and I'm like, I can barely keep up with this one. Where do y'all find the time? Like, I'm like, I work all day, 8.5 hours, 5 days a week. I want my weekends as much as, everyone else. And I got a life to live and friends to see and people to hang out with and concerts to go to and other life things. So, like, I tip my hat for those that do, like, all the things all at once. Wonder, did they get a bigger budget with Lucky and Lulu coming back? Well, that depends on who they get to play Lulu, because if it's a new actress, then there's not going to be much money spent there. So we'll see. We shall see. But yeah, I always feel weird just setting this up, but let's take a look back at classic me, I guess. I'll watch the other stuff, but I gotta get Power. Paranormal Plus, but I ain't got no NBC. Are you going to do recaps of Monster Mendez? I never thought about it. I did do, I'm sure, maybe you know this, Angel, but I used to do American Horror Story live scenes back then. Oh, I have this on the wrong screen. Now you can see the chat. This is what I see when I'm looking at my first screen. Let me fix this. Display capture. We need the other one. There we go. All right. Okay, let me just take a look something. But yeah, we'll see, Angel. If the show piques my interest, then maybe try to throw my hand at some new content again. And it is kind of GH related, so it'll bring the GH people as well. And since it's a new show, they don't have an after show yet, and I'm sure a bunch will come for sure, but maybe I'll be one of them. We'll see. I am looking forward to seeing how Nicholas Chavez does in this role, because he left GH for this, so it better be worth it. Oh my god, look at my outfit, you guys. Bandana, scarf, track pants. And this is like 2 houses ago. Alright. But yeah, we'll watch this. Let's see how cringe this is. Oh, menace. Hi everyone, my name's Dion, and this is my first video blog. I have no fucking idea what I'm going to talk about. Didn't care about swearing. I just always wanted to do this. Still don't. So I'm going to try it out. I guess I can tell you a little bit about myself. 23 years old. I live in Edmonton. I was 23. I work at an amusement park, and if you're from here, you probably know where it is. 23, and I'm 33, y'all. 34 in like a month. Gates is coming. I know. Maybe I can do the Gates as well. I'll definitely watch the first episode of the Gates and then let y'all know how I feel at the very least. feel like I'm doing a dating video right now. I like to travel. I like music. I like long walks on the beach. I enjoy watching video bloggers on YouTube. I still do, mostly. Did I say I like to travel? I like to travel. Oh my god, I'm so awkward. My favorite TV show is probably American Horror Story and also General Hospital, but don't tell anyone. At least I admitted it even back then, okay? YouTubers. Jack Scott, Fun for Louie. Oh my god, Jack Scott. I still watch Fun for Louie. And also Jenna Marbles. I love her too. Oh, I miss Jenna Marbles, y'all. Shout out to Jenna Marbles. That's kind of why I want to make a YouTube channel. They're just really awesome people, and I enjoy watching their videos. They're entertaining, and they get to do all this cool stuff. And I don't know, I kind of want to become. Well. Life went very fast for me. I was 23 and his age when I started watching you. Wow, dang. They get to do some pretty awesome things. And I know that Jack Scott got to travel around India and raise cancer and things like that. And I think, well, obviously, way down the line, if I ever get to that, I don't know, not fame, but like to have that kind of power, that I'd be able to have people supporting me and, doing some awesome things for charity and get to raise. I'm so shy and awkward, y'all. I'm still shy and awkward in real life, though. What else can I tell you? A bit more comfortable in front of a camera than I am just like in front of people. Except for that like work, but that's different. That's like theater, you know. Was a pretty good year for me. I kind of had a shitty end to 2012. I did. Actually, 2012 was a very good year at all. I kind of got lost in like partying and just all the time, just to like mask things and like get away from the stress. Just a full-on trauma dump for this, y'all. It was cool. In 2013, I really got to kind of get to know myself again, because I kind of got in a place where I didn't really have my own identity anymore, and I was always tied to someone, and it was just like, I don't know, too much time together, and I've made peace with that someone. I got to do some traveling. I got to go to California. We hung out this year. I got to really hang out with my family. First time since that year, probably. One of my cousins who I hadn't seen for about 6 years at that time, and we've all become really close again, and it's pretty cool. That is me shy. Oh, this is are you talking present day me or that me? I feel like now going into 2014 that I know myself a lot better. I don't know. I feel like I'm not confident in myself. I don't think I'm comfortable talking into a camera there. I feel like I'm on like this whole new like journey. Like I just look terrified to talk there, is what I'm getting at. Tag along, kind of see what I get up to this year. I've got a lot planned. I got a lot of things I want to achieve this year, and I hope. Can't deal with filming myself in front of you guys. Yeah, I'm much more. That's why I'm doing this. I think, generally speaking, I was always more comfortable behind the camera, because I've always loved video editing and stuff. And even to this day, I'm like always filming concerts and stuff, because I know I'm really good at it. And that's pretty much it for now. So I will see you guys next time. Man. Subscribe if you like. If you don't like it, that's fine too. But keep watch if you want to anyway. Hopefully I get better. Hopefully I get better. Did I get better, y'all? I hope so. Peace out. All right. The next video is the very first episode of General Hospital after show. And I'm using Patrick and Robin's song. Welcome to General Hospital Envy, my brand new General Hospital weekly after show.
You may not know this, but I have been a General Hospital fan for well over a decade now.
My hair.
For those of you that don't know, way back in the day, I used to have a YouTube channel called Envious One, and I would upload
Envious Zero One
to General Hospital and all the songs. Way back before copyright laws kind of took over for soaps, and now it's very, very taboo and very far and few between channels get away with it. So yeah, you can call me Envious if you want, Envious One, Dion, whatever you want to call me. It's great, it's fine. It's totally up to you. So I don't have an official game plan yet, but I went to Tumblr and I asked the GH fandom if they'd be interested in me doing an after show for GH. And they seemed to welcome it with open arms, so really I'm doing this because of Tumblr, so thank you Tumblr. I think inevitably I would talk about my thoughts and opinions on the show and the characters and the storylines, future plots and maybe news on the actors and things like that. But I also want it to be like an interactive fan experience, so I hope, it gets a bit of a following and you guys can take part.
And it needs to be even bigger than that, y'all.
Tumblr is very small, and it's kind of virtually invisible. Like, I want them to be known as well, because we're a small bunch, but we are a very opinionated, loud bunch, and I love it there. So last week was a very, very important week for General Hospital, and
Patrick and Robin.
It was actor Jason Thompson's last week on the show. So this video will be mostly about my love for Robin and Patrick, but I will also be touching base on something that is very
in this era, who
in the
knows?
General Hospital community.
This is when Patrick and Robin were leaving the show, though. Is when I think.
And where I personally stand on the subject. I'll also be discussing the bombshell.
This is Robin and Patrick leaving was the first.
Who the hell is Hayden Barnes? But back to
who the hell is Hayden Barnes? Now we know.
Oh, they're wonderful. So Jason Thompson holds a very special place in my heart because I am from a city called Edmonton in Alberta, Canada. And that is where he is from, and I actually got to meet him a few years back. I bumped into him while I was working, actually. He was super down to earth, even though I almost went into shock, but I held it together, and I shook his hand. I said that he was doing a wonderful job on GH, and I told my mom and my grandmother, who also watched the show, and they were like, "What are you doing? Tell him Robin's alive!" And because it was when Robin died. I didn't, but I did go back and get a picture with him after, and he was very gracious about it as well, so that's my story. I literally started watching the show on a regular basis around the time that Robin first came back, right before the train wreck. So I got to see Robin and Patrick's relationship from beginning to end and everything in between. I'm a diehard. I know that they didn't always have the most exciting stories, but they were real and authentic, and their chemistry was off the charts. So I
really was a Scrubs fan.
Adored Scrubs. Their song.
Did he see? I tried to watch a bit of him on YNR Kaiwan. And I just couldn't get into Young and Restless. I'm happy for him, and I'm glad that you think he's doing a great job, though. And I'm sure he is. I don't doubt that.
A couple of beautiful songs that played during the wedding and their montage at the end as well.
I mean, you can only grow as an actor the more you do.
When I find out, I will post it on here and on Tumblr as well. Anyway, I loved the wedding. It was very touching. But oh my God, Carly and Robin hugged. They hugged, like Robin and Carly. Okay. But there was very touching moments between all the characters that attended the wedding. I mean, obviously, Anna was there, Robert was there, Felicia, Mac, Sunny, Carly, Elizabeth, and Jason. For the most part, all those characters had wonderful scenes with Robin and Patrick, but Felicia and Robert's parts were so short. I feel like we barely get to see Felicia and Robert, mainly because Robert isn't actually on the show, and Felicia, I think she's doing her own thing, but I mean, if you're gonna put them on screen, give them some lines, give them some meat. That's all I ask. I love the vets. My favorite moment was obviously the very ending of that episode where Robin, Patrick, and Emma are arm in arm, walking into the sunset, into a happily ever after. That's like the perfect ending any couple could ask for on the show. Any fan of any couple would love that. Some fans aren't so lucky. I know it sucks that they're gone, but at least, they're ending in a beautiful way. Meanwhile, off-screen, while Robin was being held captive by the Cassadines all this time, actress Kimberly McCullough was going through her own tough times. You need to check out her blog and read what she's been going through this past year. It's a great read and an emotional story. And
that's right, Kimberly had lost her baby.
You want to get through it. Jason, I just want to wish you all the best of luck on your new endeavors in Young and the Restless. I know you'll bring your A game like you always did for GH. And as a fellow Edmontonian, I will always support you in whatever you do.
It's weird seeing Patrick play Billy Abbott when Billy Miller played Billy Abbott.
Very important question. Jason and Sam or Jason and Elizabeth?
Oh my God.
Jason.
That's one way to get people to watch.
If she had lied to him or not,
Stoke
I
the
would pick
the
Jason.
flames.
It has nothing to do with how I feel about the character of Elizabeth. I just always, even like back in like 2007, 2008 when Liaison was like together, I found them kind of boring. There was nothing appealing. It was like the same conversation every day. Jason, I want to be with you. I can't be with you. My life is too dangerous. Every day, for years. I am not a diehard Jason and Sam fan. Personally, if Greg Vaughn was still on the show as Lucky Spencer, I would have loved Lou Sam, but that's getting a little bit off topic. I've also
See, I'm honest. I liked J Sam, but I loved Lou Sam.
As a character, I loved her. Up until the previous writer, Ron Carlivati, was like, let's give Elizabeth a twirly mustache and write her completely out of character, just like Nicholas. It won't make any sense whatsoever, but we gotta keep Jason's identity a secret from himself for the next 37 years. If it wasn't obvious, I hated Ron Carlivati's writing so much. I thought he did quite well in the 50th anniversary, though, to be fair. But after that, it's like everything went to hell in a handbasket. Characters were dumbed down, switched up, mixed up, and unrecognizable. All in the name of writing storylines that wouldn't actually work if the writers actually took into consideration the actual integrity of the characters. It was a hot mess.
And hot takes with the music. Yeah, the good old days, guys.
The worst casualties of Ron Carlivati. And I'm actually kind of mad at the new writers.
And yeah, I always used GH's music.
Like,
I
they
did.
had so many missed opportunities where they could have like started to
For these
redeem them,
moments.
but it's like it just got worse and worse, and now it's just like. Alright, so finally we need to discuss a bombshell that was dropped on Friday. Hayden Barnes is not Hayden Barnes. My theory, and it looks to be a lot of people's theories, is that Hayden Barnes could be not Emily, but her twin sister Rebecca Shaw. Rebecca Shaw was Emily's twin sister that came into town to
Wow, that was the theory?
her sister's money that she felt entitled to. Kind of sounds like Hayden, right? I'm on the fence on whether I want that theory to be true or not, because Rebecca, she wasn't that great of a character. And also, if I had to sit through another, like, plastic surgery face thing again, I don't know if I can make it, guys. I don't know.
I love the effort
Anyway,
that I made to
guys
put
out there
like
is,
the
who
clips
do you
behind me
think?
on an actual television
Do you think
screen.
she is Rebecca Shaw? Do you want it to be someone else? What are your theories? I also want to know where you guys stand on the J-Sam versus Liaison battlefront. I also want to know who you guys think should carry the mantle of leading doctor on the show. There aren't too many doctors left on the canvas. Do you think
Fun
we
fact,
should
the screen that I'm looking at,
should someone on the canvas already kind of step into the role?
is the
Tell
same
us what you
screen
think
that's
down
behind me in
the
this
comments,
video.
or feel free to send me a message on Tumblr as well. Also, feel
Screen that
free to
present day
send
me
any
is looking at
questions
watching
or
this
any
reaction
theories on
thing
any of the stories
is
on the show.
the one that's
Thank you for
behind me
watching
in that
General
video.
Hospital Envy, and I will see you guys next time.
Dang, there it is. And then, yeah, the final video is the look back on the 500 subscribers thing.
Man, I really gotta get out of this city.
I did so much, y'all.
My goal is to get back inside your head, make you the person that you used to be. You? Look, there was a time I was definitely similar to you, but I was never you. You always wish you were, right?
Okay, well, that was my room in my old house. So that was house number 2, and now I'm in house number 3. Yeah, Ron Carlivati, he's not at Days anymore. I did hear that. You liked Rebecca because you wanted Natalia Livingston back on the show. I mean, it just felt like they might as well have just brought Emily back from the dead. It would have been a bit more realistic. I like that she didn't like Elizabeth though, because it was like
To live it. Go out there and try something new. Not everything's gonna be gold, but
Elizabeth back then was not very likable.
This is Dion, and this has been Summer and Yeg.
So dramatic.
Thanks for watching.
I used to snap at the end of every video, man.
Subscribers, that's insane. You guys, seriously, from the bottom of my heart, I am so thankful and so grateful. I know that most of you are on here for General Hospital Envy, and I am truly grateful for that because it's seriously been one of the biggest highlights of this channel.
This is Current House, by the way. That room is just right over here.
5 years ago, I had no game plan whatsoever, okay? I mean, I just knew that I liked to make videos, and I didn't want to chase trends and talk about things that I didn't care about. I just wanted to show people things that I thought were cool and talk about things that interested me, and if people tuned in, that was just like the added bonus for me. General Hospital has been a part of my life for so long that it really made sense to me to do something relating to the show on this channel, and so I was on the Tumblr fandom one day, and I asked them if they would be interested in me doing an after show for General Hospital.
And Allison, it was really hard to put the GH clips together and have that in the background. I had to do so much cutting and stuff.
The GH fandom on Tumblr is very small, so I didn't think it would have much of a following, but I was happy to do it. And then in the last year or so, it really picked up on YouTube, and just this past year, I gained like 200 subscribers, which is insane. General Hospital Envy is the third longest running series I have on my channel, next to the Summer and Yag series, and my American Horror Story after show videos. I've done everything on here from music videos to scripted shows, travel blogs, personal stuff. Whatever the reasons you watch, I am seriously so grateful. Video editing has always been a big part of my life, predating my vlogging days. I used to have YouTube channels where I would do anime music videos and fan dubs of different cartoons. And of course my most popular channel back in the day was Envious01, which is where I uploaded GH clips on the daily. Back then I was a bit of a loner in school, so I had a lot of time on my hands after school, and I just uploaded those videos all the time. But eventually I graduated and made more friends, and I started working full time, so I didn't have time to really do that channel anymore. But I missed making videos, so in 2014, Dion's Corner was born. Seriously guys, I love everything that I do on Dion's Corner. I mean, the fact that you guys watch GH Envy every single Sunday, and you're in the comments telling me how much you love my reviews, and that you want to hear my opinions. I am a Canadian dude in this basement reviewing a US soap. The fact that I'm entertaining you guys at all in some way is mind-blowing to me, and I will forever try to entertain you guys for as long as you guys will have me. And of course, Summer and Yeg series is my passion.
I look so
project.
fresh-faced there.
I love getting up to my city and seeing what it has to
Last
offer.
5 years were hard, y'all.
The videos I make for it. I'm going to be back doing that this weekend, so stay tuned for the videos in the next couple of weeks. And also for American Horror Story, that's coming back in autumn for the 1984 season, and I will be doing an after show on that, so stay tuned. If you guys like this channel, give this video a big old thumbs up, subscribe, but only if you want to, and I will catch you guys in the next video. Cheers.
Oh, makes sense. Oh, remember end screens, you guys? Oh, man. Summer and Yeg 5 seasons. I think I did one little Summer and Yeg video right after the pandemic, and then that was kind of the last one I did, and I just kind of decided to retire that. Only because, you can only do so many things in a city every summer before you're just doing the same thing over and over again every year. So it just kind of felt like it was getting a little bit old and stale. And then I kind of found my niche in doing music content for Instagram for Edmonton's local scene, and that's a bit more of a passion project than Summer and Yeg, and a lot of it is because I have so many friends that are in the music scene here, and they've done a lot for me, and I'm super grateful for that. And I've told you guys about them countless times. Getting to see them become these bigger bands and get these bigger fandoms, and it's the bands Nicholas Rage and Calling All Captains, and there are two bands that really took off. Captains took off first, and Nicholas Rage wasn't that far behind. Nicholas Rage, the lead singer Jeremy, he ended up moving to the east side of Canada. So we're on the west. So the other side, back to where he is originally from. And that was, I can't even remember, maybe 2 years ago. And we're obviously still in touch. We check in with each other every now and then. And he's coming back to do a Nicholas Rage show, and they're working on music, so I'm excited. So I get to see my boy Jeremy again in like 3 weeks ish. And he's even saying that he might come to my show because he will be in town at the same time, as long as their band rehearsal doesn't fall on my show. He's going to try to make it. I think he will. He better. The east side of Canada is like Ontario and Quebec. And so where I'm originally from, but he was from, he's from New Brunswick, I think. Yeah, province of New Brunswick. So yeah. But it's so funny. Whenever I'm in Montreal, I like be like, hey, I'm on like not exactly the time zone, but like closer. Ah, man. But yeah, I'm excited. He will be here for like 2 weeks, and I forget if I told you this. I'm going to Montreal for my birthday week in September. Are you near Montreal? No. Like I said, I'm on the west side of Canada. Montreal is on the east side of Canada. So it's the other side of the country. I'm much closer to Vancouver and Victoria, because that's in British Columbia. That's just the next province over to Alberta, where I am. And Ontario and Quebec and all that stuff. Like, when I moved here, it was I think a 3 or 4 day drive that we had to do from Ontario at that time, because I had moved to Brampton for a little bit, Brampton, Ontario, which is near Toronto, before moving here. So, yeah. And I was young, y'all. Like, I was 7 when I moved to Edmonton, so it's been a long time. But and it's crazy, because as long as I've been here in Edmonton, it's never really felt like home. Like, Montreal has always felt like home, even though I was so young. Like, when I went back, like, it just felt like I hadn't forgotten anything, which is wild, because I was practically a baby. And, it's just being in the places where, like, my mom lived her, her young years there. And so going back as an adult for the first time too was like really cool, and like getting to experience like the nightlife for the first time, and going to, taking the metro to get to whatever place in Montreal, and it felt like I was like kind of like walking my mom's footsteps, and like that's where my mom met my dad too. And obviously they're not together, and there is fallout with me and my father, but it was just cool kind of like being there and kind of seeing where it all began, where I began. Love road trips though, as long as I can sleep in a hotel. We did sleep in like hotels on the way. The one thing that I can remember, one of the places that we stayed in, which was very, very cabin-esque, there was something in our cupboard, y'all, and it got to our cereal, and we could hear it, and boy did we leave everything, like, because we heard it in the morning. We got out of there so fast, I probably left like half my toys. Like, we left the cereal there, obviously, because that's what we could hear shaking in the cupboard. So we just booked it and didn't turn back. And then eventually we got here, and we did have some family living out in Edmonton at that time too, that we initially crashed with for like a day or two before getting our own place. And yeah, and the rest, they say, is history. Yeah, no, it's weird. Like, even stuff that I don't completely remember, Kaiwan, like, there's still like you walk in a certain place in town and you're like, I've been here before. Rat, maybe. I don't know. We never looked. We never looked. But like at that point, it was like countryside, so like it sounded big, y'all. Okay. I mean, I know I was a kid, but like to us, it sounded big. We were thinking like a raccoon or something, like got in and like snuck in the cupboard or something. So I don't know. I don't know. And the thing is, it was a really nice looking cabin. Okay, like it was a nice ass place. So I like that's why I don't think it was a rat. Like it was a very clean, very pristine cabin, like well kept, great people that worked there. Like I don't think, like I think it had to be like a raccoon. No, yeah, it wasn't a bear. But like I'm less scared of bears than well, I mean the scary thing was not knowing what it was. Okay, we obviously knew it wasn't a bear. It was a cupboard. But like I'm pretty convinced it was a raccoon. Just because we were in like a kind of a woodsy country area too, so I don't know. That's why I was thinking that. Bears break into mountain cabins a lot. Yeah, but not into like we'd see a bear. Like that's what I'm saying. Rats like nice places too. Cabin is still in the woods. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I think there was just like those kind of critters around, like we like raccoons and like squirrels and I mean it could have been a squirrel too. I don't know, but we weren't gonna open the door to find out, so we left. Rather take a bear in the woods than a man. You know, going to Jasper, that was my favorite part. Like whenever we'd see a bear, it was so cool. Because you know, we were respectful and we stayed in our cars, but we would just, you know, roll down the window and film them or take pictures. And they weren't nearly ever close enough for us to be scared, but we had seen in the past like bears climbing on the back of cars and stuff. Like we've seen that stuff ourselves. But I think my favorite thing to see in like whenever we go to the mountains here in Alberta is well, mountain goats because they're hilarious, but also especially elk, male elks especially too, just because you know the antlers and stuff. It's just cool to see. Like honestly, anytime I drove through Jasper, or our family, every time our family drove through Jasper, like it didn't feel like a worthwhile trip unless we seen an elk. And I don't think we've gone through a trip where we haven't. There's obviously been trips where we've seen more than one. Or like, you know, just one or two and then like a whole bunch. And when we see a whole bunch, that's when it's like amazing. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Sandy, you said you drove from Seattle to Vancouver, then took a ferry to Victoria Island, then drove up to Whistler. It was the most beautiful mountains. Yeah, the Rocky Mountains are gorgeous. They're so gorgeous. You know what's funny though? I've never been to Vancouver. I've been to BC. I've never been to Vancouver, except for the airport and like traveling back probably from the States likely. But like that doesn't count. My mom's only been to Vancouver once, and that was to I think it was to visit a relative that happened to be there at the time. So yeah. Love Canada, so clean and the air was so fresh. Not all parts, Allison. I wish I could say that all of Canada is like that, but you know we got our big cities too, and places that are cleaner than others. But you know, like especially going into the Rocky Mountains, it is the air there is fresh and like the spring water and like I don't know, there is something amazing about the Canadian Rockies. It's special. Vancouver, great city but expensive. That's what I hear. One day I'll get there, but I don't have a reason to go. You know? I was always content just kind of, oh, you're from LA. Yeah, I get it. I've been to LA. I've seen the smog for myself. And, you know, Hollywood and the square and the people, you know, the people dressed as whatever characters and stuff and just trying to swindle you for your money and stuff. But I don't know. California I really loved though, because that first video where I'm talking about I went through something. Shortly after that was when I went to California to just clear my head. Um, so it does hold quite a special place for me as well. But that's more California as a whole. Like we did go to like Orange County area and Anaheim for Disney, and we went to Huntington Beach and Surf City, all that stuff. You're an LA girl too, Sandy? Oh man, hey, I'm not saying anything about the LA people. I didn't get to meet that much people, honestly. Um, but like, I mean, I like when I said like the Hollywood people, like I meant like the characters on the street that are swindling you for your money, like as in like they're dressed up as like Jack Sparrow and Mickey Mouse. Those people. I did have a little bit of a fling with like a hotel clerk of the hotel that I was staying at in Anaheim, um, which was cool, but we were only in there for that night because then that's when we went to Anaheim after. So, oh, you're in NorCal now. LA once on your 27th birthday. I do want to go back someday. If I do go back, I'm going to, like, if I go back to California, I'm going to track down James Lott Jr. We're going to have a beer. Just make that known. We've talked long enough. I can say that we're friends. Oh, man. But yeah, no. Montreal's the priority right now, and I'm traveling back there next month just to take in my birthday week. And actually, when I'm over there, I'm meeting up with a friend, an online friend that I've talked to since I was a teenager, like 13 years old. We've never met. We've obviously back then it was like MSN Messenger and like webcam and stuff. So I know he's like an actual person. We do talk like via audio. We talked video back then too. Like we're very much still in touch to this day. And it just worked out that he lives a little bit closer in the States. He lives is where he lives, but it's like a 5-hour drive to Montreal. Sporty Spice from the Spice Girls is doing a DJ set there, so I was like, I want to go there and see her. And then my friend Glendon is his name. He's like, that's like 5 hours away from me. Let's meet up. So that's cool experiences. I'm always down to meet like online people that I've like established enough of a friendship with. Oh man. Expensive though, like everywhere else on the ocean. Well, yeah, that's a given. There's no getting catfished, Angel. Like, listen, like we know, like we've been chatting since we were 13 on webcam. Like, I mean, actually, so there's 3 of us really. Me, Glendon, and this girl Joanne. We've all been talking since 2003, probably online. She's from England. He's from the U.S., but I forget where he originally lived. I think now he lives in Maine. But no, there's no catfish there. It's a situation of like we've all been on webcam with each other. Like we've seen each other through so much of our lives just online. And when Joanne, like when she first went on a date with her now husband, now they got 3 kids. Like it's a whole thing. So it's I don't know. That's a thing where I won't get catfish for sure, because I mean, think about it. MSN in 2003, webcam, audio. We even like recorded demos with each other on like sound recorder back then, like. So we've established that we are actually all real people, and we've seen each other on this kind of setting, and like they've seen my face, I've seen their face. We've talked, on audio, microphone, the whole 9 yards. So thankfully, that is one thing where I won't get catfished. And also, like, we have each other on Facebook. Like, we have our lives there too. And I know that people can catfish on Facebook. But again, it's hard to fake this in 2003, like face to face on a webcam and audio. San Francisco cost of living scares me. I have always wanted to visit San Fran, actually. But I don't see myself wanting to like live there. All them hills, yo. When you moved up here 20 years ago, you could get a house for 150 grand, but now there's nothing decent for under half a mil. That's not surprising. Oh, y'all. Well, guys, I don't want to hang out too much longer. We've been here for almost an hour now. So we'll wrap things up a little bit. I will say, once again, for anyone that's watched for however long you've watched, whether you started watching GHMV first or you watched my other shows like American Horror Story after shows, if you've checked out my music, if you've checked out any of my other video content that wasn't, GH, then, thank you. I just really appreciate it. To have 1,000 subscribers now is crazy. I don't know. I don't know what the future holds. Obviously, I'm going to keep on doing GHMV until GH gets canceled. I hope it doesn't. But yeah, it's been a lot of fun, and getting to hang out with you guys and talking to you in the chat has just been like just a really cool experience, because a lot of you have been on here for quite some time, and seeing all the familiar faces from back then, it's like really cool, and like, we all have, I feel like we're in like a niche group that's like, we generally have the same opinion about the show for the most part. Like, obviously there's characters that we prefer, or there's characters that you guys like that I don't like, and vice versa. But I think we're all very respectful in terms of like our opinions, because y'all know Soap Twitter, that gets ugly on there just for like just fan wars and like fighting over couples and who should be together and all this stuff. But I think we are like a relatively sane bunch that like, we love our show, we hate when it's bad, we ultimately want it to be better. We can separate the characters from the actors that play them. You know what I mean? Like, it's just a nice GH fandom portion that I appreciate. Just because I know it can get ugly and people can be so horrifying online with each other when it comes to just the characters, and just like it's a TV show. We're just having fun. Like, we're just talking about it with our friends, our online friends. It is what it is. But yeah, so I don't know. I've just really appreciated having our little corner, Dion's corner, with GHMV and all of you guys. And it's really nice. And I also love doing the reaction videos when we do them on Wednesdays. GHMV Reacts stemmed from the pandemic. We went on lockdown. GH stopped airing episodes, and so I needed something to do, so that's what we did. We did it on Sundays back then, because might as well. And then when GH came back, I think I took a month or so off of reacting, and then we made it like a Wednesday thing, and then did Wednesdays and Sundays, and here we are today. I'm live streaming both reactions and after shows, and back then I was still just recording them in advance and editing them and uploading them. But that is tedious. That takes up so much of a day, whereas like, writing my notes for an episode takes just a couple of hours essentially, and then I can just kind of hop on here and talk to you about it, and it's more chill. Allison, you said you're not invested in couples anymore like you were years ago, and that's valid, because they just don't write couples like they did years ago too. Like, obviously there are couples that I can enjoy, but it's never been to like the, oh my god, they have me levels since, like, for me, like the mid to late 2000s was probably the last time I really, really liked a couple. I mean, Spencer and Trina, I feel like they were as close to that feeling that I got, to like the nostalgic ways that I'd feel for like older couples. But yeah, it's just not the same. It ain't the same, and I don't know if it's generally that's the same vibe for all the soaps. But that's the way it feels like for GH. There's no more Love in the Afternoon. There sure isn't. I don't know. I just remember like GH, even in the mid 2000s, as low as the budget was compared to like the 80s back then, like we still got like larger than life kind of storylines where it would pull you in and you would be watching at the edge of your seat for like, especially during sweeps months, like at the edge for like 4 weeks straight. That never happens anymore. You might have an episode where you're like, holy crap, that was so good. But like now, we're lucky if we get one of those every few months. Ooh, and I miss the days where they could impact us as heavy as they could during a sweeps month. And just good storytelling and just angst for couples and just like dire situations where the characters can actually persevere through them and end up stronger for it. And I don't know, we just don't get that kind of thing anymore. We just saw Joss and Dex do it. That's all they do. True. Yeah. It is what it is. I don't know. I feel like there are couples that have like the groundwork there, but they just can't get to where it once was, Like Todd and Blair back in the day, on One Life. I don't know. When I think about the couples that I really liked, and I'm talking like when I started to really be invested in like the show, like I remember being a big fan of obviously Jason and Sam, you guys know that, but like Lulu and Logan, Lulu and Johnny, I liked them both, and like Nicholas and Emily, and even like Spinelli and Maxie when they got together, and there was just a lot of good couples, and you just were rooting for them, and they had like moments, like special moments that you remember, and they just don't create special moments with couples anymore. That's, I think, a big part of why it feels empty when couples get together now. There's not like big moments that are like, well, not even big moments, small moments that end up really special. It's like Jason and Sam with their Dominoes and Tequila, or Dancing in the Rain. With Spinelli and Maxie, it was the first time he sang to him, and then the first time they made love while being in love, and like, I don't know. Each couple really had their own thing, and they had their own songs, and they were like recognizable. Logan is the reason why you liked Scott. Yeah, I think, first of all, they did such a great job in casting Logan. Like, he looked so much like Ken, and he talked like Ken as well. And, it was great casting, but they, inevitably they kind of destroyed him for Johnny, which is not that different from like what happened with Scott when Luke and Laura got together. It very much felt like almost like a carbon copy of the same thing. We even saw Johnny and Lulu going on the run. So like, there was they at least tried to emulate the idea of the super couple back then. They seemed to like believe in the couples that they put together. Now it feels like they're just like hoping it works, like a lot of the time, because like characters can have chemistry, and that's half the battle, but the other half is good story and pulling us in with like wanting them to get together, and they're not quite there yet, but when it happens it's great, and then they have that honeymoon phase where they're happy and blissful, and then they're kind of having stories where they're like a strong unit but trying to solve other things. And now it's always just like there's always secrets now, and that's just the angst for every couple. And think about it, like right now that's the case. Like freaking Willow and Michael now, not that I liked them, but like now she's got a secret to keep from him, and the last story was him keeping a secret from her, and then the one before that was her keeping a secret from him, and it's just like a non-stop cycle. And like with Molly and TJ, they're just never communicating, they're never seeing eye to eye. It's just they're always keeping something from each other, and keeping their opinions, and It's that for every couple. It gets tiresome. But anyway, I remember how I was gonna say I was gonna leave. I didn't do that. Here I am again. So I think I'll actually leave now. It has officially been an hour. So we'll end it here for reals this time. Again, thank you so much for the 1,000 subscribers. Thank you so much for tuning in week after week after week. I'm grateful for you guys. You guys are truly just an amazing crew to hang with on, twice a week. And I think you guys have seen me through some hell, when I lost my dog George and he passed away. Y'all were so patient with me and saying take all the time I need, and you were okay if I'd want to do one and then I canceled for those kind of reasons. So you guys have just been really good to me, and I'm so grateful for you guys. I'd rather Willow be with TJ than Drew. You're not wrong, Hal. Alright, good night, y'all. If you like this video, give it a big old thumbs up. Subscribe if you want to. I'd really appreciate it. I'm sure it'll be 10 years before I get to 2,000. So, if I'm still here, then cool. I hope you guys are too. Good night, y'all. Mwah. Peace. See you Sunday.